Hey everybody, welcome back to Skates Home Learning. So today is going to be a little bit different than our normal videos. Today is specifically for CPS teachers, and it is not going to be our traditional remote learning tools. It is going to be all about ASPEN, yes, our favorite, or yes, our least favorite tool. So today we are going to figure out how to make sure that we don't have any grading errors at the end of the quarter or semester. So I'm going to go over three really important things. First, how to set up your grade book. Second, how to make sure that all of your assignments are set up. And then number three, how to have a successful posting. So let's get started. So number one, making sure that your grade book is set up. If your grade book is not set up correctly, it doesn't matter what your assignments are and it doesn't matter how you post, your calculations are going to be incorrect. So you're going to click on your class and then you're going to click on details. Make sure is when you first log on, the first time you set up your gradebook, unfortunately what ASPEN does is it sets your gradebook up for what's called gradebook default. Don't know why they do it, very stupid, but if you keep your gradebook on gradebook default, your grades will calculate incorrectly. So you need to make sure that you switch out of gradebook default into the average mode that you will be using for the rest of the year. Now there are a few different choices that you have. Now the first and foremost, they have categories and assignments. Don't ever use it. I don't even want to get into it. Don't use it. It's very complicated. Students have no clue what is going on, and it's very easy to have miscalculations. The second one is categories only. I really think you should just use this in very rare occasions and make sure that you have approval by whoever your administrator is or your admin partner, because this is going to create categories, and then it doesn't even matter how many points you create your assignment. It's going to turn it into percentages. So you can have an assignment worth 10 points. You can make an assignment worth 1,000,000 points. It doesn't matter. It's going to switch it into percentage, and then it's going to take those percentages, it's going to add those up, and then depending on the category, it'll then make that category a certain percentage. But the other issue is, if you have a category and you don't put an assignment in, then that kid is going to have a 0 in that category. And that is also an issue. So for example, if you haven't given a quiz yet and the category is 25%, then that kid can't get higher than a C until you enter it in. On the flip side, if you only have one assignment in that category, then that assignment is worth 25% of that kid's grade. The next one is category total points. This allows you to distinguish the different assignments within a category. So if you do give an assignment that is 50 points, then the assignment is actually worth that 50 points. And if another assignment is worth 10 points, then an assignment is then actually weighted that 10 points. So each assignment within that category gets the different weights based on those points. And then again, each category is weighted out. So for this one, again, it's a little bit more complicated because of the weighted categories, but you can use it. Most admin would say make sure that your entire course team is on it so that if a kid does move from one class to another, it's easy to transfer the grades. And then the last one, this is probably the most common, it's just total points. So however many points the kid gets, that is the grade across the board. Fairly easy. It's very easy for the kids to understand. It's easy to calculate. When you head into gradebook, you want to make sure that you pick your average mode, and then you need to make sure you pick that in all of your classes. If I choose it for my first class and I don't choose it for the rest of them, it doesn't sync. Fun trick on ASPEN. So make sure that all 5 of your classes are switched from default mode to your average mode. Super important. Other thing that you want to check is when you go up into the top where it says your name, you're going to click on it, you're going to set preferences. Whatever you picked for your average mode, you also want to match in your set preferences. So you're going to click gradebook, and then you're going to scroll down and you want to make sure it matches here. You also want to make sure decimals is set at 2. That's going to make sure that it averages correctly and that it's rounding the percentage out correctly for the student at the end of the semester or the end of the term. The other really important thing is right here where it says grade scale. If you don't have one here, that's going to become complicated when you're creating your assignments and also when you're posting. So please make sure that you have something here. It needs to be district grade scale. Once you do that, then you're good to go for the rest of the term and you're set to go for the semester. The second thing we want to go through is your assignments. This is the other thing that gets a lot of people tripped up and gets a lot of people angry. The first one, I don't even know why they have it, but when you create your assignments, they have an option of visibility. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So when I create an assignment, right here it says visibility type. If I change it to private or public no grades, what that is going to do is if I change it to private, it is still going to calculate the grade on my end as the teacher. It also is going to calculate the grade for the final grade that's going to end up on the kid's transcript. The issue is the kid and the parent will never see it. They'll also never see the calculation of the grade. So let's say the kid did not do very good on the assignment that is private, so it dropped the kid's grade from a B to a C. So me as the teacher, I will always see that C. The kid will never see it. The parent will never see it. Then all of a sudden they're going to see the report card and they'll all of a sudden get a C and be like, why do I have a C? They'll have no clue because it was marked as private. Please don't make it private because it's very confusing. The next one that is important is extra credit. There's two ways you can give kids extra credit. You can make the entire assignment extra credit, or you can have a regular assignment and you can add bonus points on top of it. But you don't want to do both because then the kid will get all of a sudden a huge boost on their grade. So in your assignment, if you look at it, it will have the extra credit. So there is the extra credit and there is the box, and then there's the extra credit and there are points. If you click this box, it makes the entire assignment extra credit. If you put in points here, that means you're just adding points on top of the assignment. If you do both, if you click the box and put points in there, so let's say I made this assignment for 100 points, and then I click this, now all of a sudden the kid gets 100 extra credit points. That's a lot of points. Then if I put like 3 on here, now they actually can get 103 points. So we don't want to do that. You need to pick one or the other. You'll also always know whether or not assignment is extra credit by looking at your assignments afterwards, just to double check. So if I look here, it'll tell you if there's extra credit allowed on here, and it'll tell you right here. So here, means the assignment is not extra credit, but here it's letting you know that the kid could have gotten 5 extra credit points on top, just to double check before you post. Codes are also a thing that people want to know about. CPS automatically gives codes. I know that this can be a point of frustration for some teachers because they want to be able to have a little bit more flexibility. Unfortunately, there are not that many flexibility options. So in tools, you can go to special codes and you can add different codes, but just realize that there are very few options for points. So they can either be exempt, meaning the points have nothing to do with the assignment, that it's not hurting their grade. You can have calculates as a 0, so it's hurting their grade, or you can say that it is still missing, like so it's an incomplete assignment and they still need to turn it in, but it's not hurting their grade. Like you can't do like, I want it to count as 50%. Unfortunately, that is not an option right now, but you can change the letterings and you can create your own codes in here, so you can at least send different messages to students so that they can try to then at least turn the assignment in if that is what you're looking for. All right, last but not least, and this is super important, is posting. If we don't post correctly, we're going to have a lot of issues and there's going to be a lot of grade changes at the end. Now, the most important thing you need to realize about posting is that you basically need to post twice in order for it to be successful. The other thing you need to know is that once you are done posting, everything you do after you post will not end up on the transcript unless you post again. So let's say the deadline for posting is Wednesday at 5 p.m. and I posted Wednesday at 8 a.m. and then a few kids turned in some late work. and I had enough time to grade it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to help this kid out. I'm going to enter these assignments in. Cool. You put them in, the kid's grade goes up. You can see in gradebook that that student's grade increased. It will not end up on the transcript. It will not end up on the kid's progress report. It will not end up on the kid's report card unless you repost again. If you do not repost again, that student's report card will have the exact same grade that it was at 8 a.m. All right, I'm going to run through the 2 steps for posting. So the first one to post is you want to make sure that you are first posting to the column. This is going to make sure that you are able to double check your grades, and then you will be able to override any grades that you need to adjust due to any unforeseen circumstances or IEPs, things like that. The second thing that you need to post, once you post the first time, is to post to the actual transcript, or you are posting to the report card. So the first one is to post to the post columns. So to do that, you're going to click on options and then update post columns. Then this is term 1. This is the actual term, not the progress. We're going to click next. And then this is super important. This is where we also see a lot of mistakes, is that you want to make sure that you are doing average cumulative. We are doing cumulative grades. You're going to click next, and then you're going to click finished. I'm not going to go all the way through since this is not my grade book and we're not at the end of the quarter. Once you're done with that, you're going to see that on the post column, a letter grade is going to show up in all of these different grades. This is where you would then be able to make comments. You would then be able to do any overrides if there's any issues, or if you need to adjust for IEPs, things like that. After that, you would then have to go and post a second time. This is post grades. This is what's going to send it to the transcript or send it to the report card. So instead of post columns, and you're going to post grades. So this time, term 1, again, term 1, and you're going to click OK, and it will then go to the transcript. Okay? So again, you have to do it twice. First, you want to post to the term column so that you're able to make your comments. Then you need to post it to the actual transcript. Once you do that, then it will be able to get to the report card. If you make changes after you do the posting, I cannot stress this enough. If you make these changes, then you need to make sure that you do the posting again. Otherwise, the grades won't switch over. And this is where we see a lot of the issues and have to do the grade change. I hope that was helpful. So again, there are 3 key things you need to do. You need to make sure your grade book is set up. The number 1 thing is it cannot be in default mode. Otherwise, there will be discrepancies in your actual percentages. Number 2, you want to check your assignments. The key things you want to look out for are those private assignments and whether or not your extra credit is done correctly. And then when you're posting, you need to post twice and making sure that we're meeting those deadlines, because anything that is being graded after that deadline will not make it onto the transcript or onto the actual report card. I hope that helped. I hope we were able to make sure that we have a successful report card this time around. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can always email me, make your comments. If this was helpful, please subscribe. That always helps me out a lot. If you subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much.